time. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to episode 4 of MAGDX. I am GI Gamer 1981, aka Eric. Over here is the illustrious Tristan Ibarra, author, guru, game god, whatever you want to say.
Oh yeah,
the best.
Well, so many names, so many
names. But today we're going to go over Ibarra's Hot Tub Time Machine, some game and stuff pickups that we did. We're also going to do a question, bands that are the soundtrack of our youth. We're going to talk about MK1 because the MK1 gameplay and trailer dropped. The rage quit of video games, so games that made us want to punch a wall. Ibarra's new movie pick for this week, and then we'll also have corrections. How is your week going so far, Ibarra?
It's going good. More frustration. It's this whole saga with my, I don't know if I've mentioned it on this podcast, but I've been on short-term disability because I have got narcolepsy. I just had a sleep study this past weekend. And in the first 2 hours of that sleep study, they didn't have me with the CPAP on. In those 2 hours, I stopped breathing 121 times, and my oxygen level went down to 51%. So that probably has a lot to do with it. I do have a CPAP. However, we haven't been able to find a mask that I will keep on in my sleep. I take it off in my sleep, which is kind of counterproductive. So during the sleep study, they tried a side sleeping mask. Like specifically for that, and it worked like a charm. Like I think those last 4 hours of sleep were the best sleep I've had in years, literally.
That's awesome.
Which is crazy. But as far as like other stuff, that's, I don't know, pretty boring. I'm getting ready for my wife's 41st birthday party, which
I can't
of course
wait.
You
I'm
know
gonna
about.
come over. Sparkle Fest, as I'm calling it, Sparkle Fest.
Yes. What about you, man?
It's been a crazy week. I am officially in charge of my own section. I'm only a one-person section right now, and getting used to that and trying to get, all this stuff. I'm doing double work, basically. I'm doing work that used to be with my coworker, and now I'm doing the work of mine as well, so it gets kind of chaotic.
For double the pay, right?
This morning,
you get double
I hope
the pay?
so. So they have it's weird. Like they have a promotions like a tier 2 system. So wherever I am now, they have to go up to, and then I get the promotion, and then whatever's higher number, so whatever that highest number is, that's what they'll put me at.
As long as you get paid more, that's all that matters to me. That just confuses my brain, but as long as you get paid more, that's all I care about.
But I enjoy a little more now. My last coworker, no offense to him, but he was very grumpy. Some days you come in and it'd be like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing, buddy? And then some days it was like, I'm not talking to you and I hate you. And I could never figure it out. It was always random days. But cool. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the finally getting the opportunity to lead a section. So that's pretty awesome. I've had all kinds of craziness happen. Freaking my AC randomly went out today and was trying to clean that and trying to figure out what the hell was going on in that. Grown people problems.
Well, yeah, but tell everyone how hot it was today. Like it's not like it's in the 70s here.
It's so if you want to sit in a sauna and then throw a water hose in it, that's basically how it feels right now.
Yeah,
it is muggy, really muggy, and so every time I always get weird dates. Like one year I had July 4th, my AC went out, and then I was stuck for the entire day without any. It was like the hottest day ever too. It's a brand new house, and I've already got freaking problems. The problem is that I have construction going on in my house, so around us, so all that dirt and all that craziness is all getting into our stuff. So I had to go scrub that out today. But really excited to definitely come to the party. Melissa's really excited, my wife. It should be a fun time. I can't wait.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a blast. I've got I'm not much for party games and stuff like that, but we've got some ridiculous crap planned, and based on the people that are going to be there, it's going to be pretty freaking hilarious, especially when alcohol is involved. So stay tuned.
So first, we're going to go into your review of Hot Tub Time Machine. By the way, I love this movie. It's freaking hilarious. And so we're gonna give him 5 minutes to give us the review of a movie he's never seen before, and this one was basically a 80s 90s reference. So take it away, Ibarra.
All right. So Hot Tub Time Machine. I've been aware of, obviously of this movie. It wasn't a secret that it came out. It was pretty popular at the time. Well, did it come out in like 2010 or was it after that? Because that was the year that they were in the movie. But I can't remember actually what year it actually came out.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Around there, give or take a few years, I'm sure. There were some like main plot points that have already been spoiled for me, which I thought were freaking hilarious, and I'm glad that I saw them coming because, like, so when I sat down and I watched this movie, Natalie watched it with me. She's never seen it before either. So me knowing the stuff that she didn't know, that was pretty cool because I knew that she was going to have a reaction whenever those things came to light. I mean, I feel like I can talk about it because it's been out so long, like 10 years plus. So, one of the biggest things in the movie is like, John Cusack, his nephew lives with him, and he's got his sister's son there, and they don't know who his father is. Well, it turns out that his father is like his asshole friend who knocked up his sister unknowingly, like way back in the day. And during this like fateful weekend at the ski resort, so like there's all these scenes that are just so disturbing. Like this like asshole friend like tries to get this kid to have a three-way with a girl with him, and like they don't know at the time that they're father and son, which is just so disturbing knowing that. But like after that gets revealed, you're just like thinking back to like all these scenarios like in the movie. You're like, oh my gosh, this is just so gross. But I really enjoy the movie. Like I laughed my ass off. There's so many moments, so many quotable things. Yeah. I'm glad that I watched that one. Oh, and it's funny because like you and I were like running around on Saturday trying to find a copy of this thing for me to watch. Turns out it's on HBO Max, dude. We didn't even think to look on like streaming services, so I didn't even have to borrow your copy.
Well, we'll have to look at that in the future too. So if you've never seen the movie, basically what it is that these guys have like these crappy lives. They used to have fun back in the day. They had all these things that they were doing, but they stopped doing it because they got married or all kinds of crazy stuff. So the guy that he's talking about, the asshole guy, his name's Lou. He basically tried to kill himself. So they thought maybe if they take him to this hotel back where they went to the 80s, that they would enjoy it. But when they go up there, this place is like completely crappy. There's also a funny cameo in there. The dude that played George McFly in Back to the Future, he's in it as like a hotel guy. And really funny stuff that happens to him is like his arm's gone. And so in the movie, they basically they go to this hot tub. They actually knock over an energy drink. It sends him back in time. And it's really funny. Like Chevy Chase is in it, and he's like the repairman. So basically, it's like this futuristic thing. And they always like. I laughed the most is when they were like, "He's like, will you ever tell us what's going on?"
Yeah, he's like he's talking in riddles and all these vague shit, and it's really funny. And Chevy Chase, if you know like what an asshole that guy is in real life, they kind of like lean into that. And like one of the last things that he actually says to Chevy Chase is like, "Dude, you're an asshole." Which was, he owns the fact that he's an asshole, which makes him even more of an asshole in real life. Like,
and they basically go back to the 80s. It's so funny. They go back to the 80s, and it's like this one place they go there. But then what's funny is that they don't want butterfly effects, so they're trying to do all the same things that happen on the night. Like one of the guys gets his butt whooped. One guy gets stabbed with a fork. One guy like
in the eye
with a groupie. And it's like all this chaotic stuff going on. But the funniest thing I love in this movie is the guy so his wife cheats on him in the future. So when he was back in time, he calls his wife when she's like 9 years old and starts telling her about how she's cheating and how she's a scumbag. And like her dad comes in there and he's like, "This doesn't concern you. Get off the phone, you stupid.
Get off the phone, Jerry."
It's so funny. And then one of the guys, like at the end, it's really funny. He like joins Motley Crue, and then he knows all the future stuff. So he basically like does all this future stuff to make profit and stuff. The whole movie's hilarious, but I thought Ibarra would love it because it's got like a cool like 80s 90s reference to it.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, obviously, like like the ski resort that they go back to. What was it? 1984.
Mm-hmm.
So it predates us just by a little bit. We both of us were 3 years old in 1984, so we weren't really part of that era.
Yeah.
But I mean, we definitely saw the leftovers of that era when we were growing up, so it's not like it was foreign to us. But yeah, to see like all the neon windbreakers and freaking like dude, one of the funniest parts is like whenever they first like travel through time and then they go into the ski lodge and they're just like looking around, they're like, Jerry curls, freaking cigarette vending machines.
Walkmans.
Like what's that?
He said Walkmans, and then then he like freaked.
This guy using a Walkman. Screaming. Yeah. So like there's just all these things that like people back then would use and wouldn't use in the future. So finally they put two and two together and realized that they traveled through time somehow. And they think that they're stuck, and it's that whole movie trope where like they have to figure out how to get back home, and but they're conflicted because they're having so much fun at the same time.
Well, they're like favorite. What would you do? Like, for example, if you accidentally went a hot tub, let's just say you drop one of your nosses on in a jacuzzi and it sends you back to the 80s. Like, how would you react to it?
Let's see, if I dropped it and I ended up in the late 80s. So basically I could relive my life and change it. See, I didn't have a tragic past. I don't have like one of those moments where like I set fire to the carpet and the house burned down. So, I don't know. Like my brother and I fought. I punched him in the mouth. I knocked out his tooth. I would do that again. I have no regrets. Sorry, Shannon.
I would be exactly like Lou. I'd be in Lou every single shape, form, and way. I would be owning Apple and Google.
For sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, because it's going to be successful in the future. Apple was around back then. And boys that around now, like dude, did you hear that Apple like just recently became the first corporation with a $3 trillion valuation?
That's crazy.
That's insane. Yeah.
If I wouldn't be Motley Crue, but I would definitely be Metallica for sure.
Okay, yeah, that was one of the things that I actually wanted to touch on about that era, and it seems like everyone who came out of that era, like do you remember John Ace and Dexter Gaddis?
Yep.
Those guys, so funny. But John Ace, like he was one of those dudes that just like lived in the past, and like his favorite bands were like Queensryche. What was it about metal, like hair bands, that just resonated so much with that generation that they just can't let go of it?
So this is what happened in the 80s. This is honest truth, because my mom was kind of in that era too. I had a cousin Holly that used to go to a lot of shows and stuff. So it was weird. In the 80s, guys that dressed up like and looked pretty as girls were the ones that were getting all the girls, like Prince, for example, and all these different guys. And so those guys saw that
just
stuff.
Look at Twisted Sister and Queensryche and like.
But with the British, over in Britain, they had a rock era too, and so they were dressing up like that. So a lot of those people, like that saw in the States, were manipulating them, are basically like wearing the same kind of stuff. But there's so many bands like Grim Reaper, like Rat, Poison, Cinderella, like such weird stuff.
Cinderella.
But it like Metallica, for example, is the one that kind of bucked the system. That's when the metal started becoming like really metal. A funny story is so Motley Crue did a show one day, and people from San Francisco, from your town where Metallica's from, they went down to LA, they went to the concert, and they turned their backs on them, and they gave them the middle finger, and they had a big old Metallica sign, and they didn't know who Metallica was. Like, are these guys bikers? Like, what's going on? And then they found out about the band, and they're like, oh, now I know what's going on. He's like, these dudes coming in saying our music sucks. And so
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, they're the OGs, and
All right.
like even nowadays, yeah, good timing. We just ran out of time, but
Yep.
just one final thing. Even nowadays, like, yeah, they are from San Francisco. I'm always repping the San Francisco Giants, but there's always a Metallica night every single year at the Giants
So lucky.
Oracle Park. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, I'll tell you one little small. I went there once. Okay, I went to the S&M concert with the orchestra.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Oh man,
I
yeah.
went both nights. Really funny story. So we're sitting outside, and this purple Cadillac rolls by, and it was actually Prince. It was Prince. People were waving at him and taking pictures of him and stuff.
Holy
And he took
crap.
some girl from the crowd and like got her in the car and like drove off. It was like the funniest thing ever. Like, was that Prince like picking up a chick in San Francisco? Like, so weird. But he was there to watch the show too, which was wild.
That's nuts.
Now, enough of this old 80s stuff. Let's go to 2023 game pickups. And different items as well that you picked up this week. I picked up a lot, so I'm gonna let you go first and show off some of the cool stuff that you got.
Sure. I'm gonna show off my fancy second camera here real quick. So I've got only 2 pickups. I've been really light on the video game pickups, but I did pick up Zelda Collector's Edition. This sucker's sealed. I don't plan on. I have really no reason to open it up right now because I beat the game. I'm satisfied, and it'll just sit on the shelf, and maybe I'll give it to someone at some point. RoboCop. So we talked about the fact that we actually, yeah, last week is actually a perfect time after that to talk about this because it's 2 things that we talked about. RoboCop was one of the movies that I hadn't seen before that Coffin sat me down and had me watch, but also that reference is in Super Smash TV. The announcer says, "I'd buy that for $1." Well, that's from RoboCop. I had no idea until I was watching that RoboCop movie for the first time, and that is hilarious. So Coffin's always looking for stuff for me, and he finds this on Etsy, and it's this the dollar in a freaking plastic card. So of course I had to get it. It's pretty funny.
So the funny story about it was he was telling me he hadn't seen the movie, and I showed him a scene where RoboCop, there's some girl, and he shoots between her dress and hits this guy in the junk. And so I showed it to him, and then I was like, dude, you have to see the unrated version of it. So I got him the Laserdisc that was like the unrated version. And when he saw that, his reaction was priceless when that dude came on the screen. He was like, holy crap. He's like, I never knew that was where that was from. And so it's like an ongoing joke with us.
Yeah.
So I think that movie's great. It's one of my favorite movies of all time as a kid. RoboCop's insane. Mom should have had me watching that movie, but man, it's super funny. So I got a lot, so I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Just
Man.
got
You
this
got plenty
today.
of time.
Unmetal for the PS4. If you don't know about this game, if you're a fan of Metal Gear and the old MSX versions of the game, this one is that plus the humor. They do like 80s and 90s funny like action references and stuff. It's so funny. In here they actually got a piece of toilet paper. It says, this will save your ass sometime, which I think is hilarious. This was on VG New York, and I think it was $69.99. I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for this. I paid retail for this $60. Actually, because originally it was $99 on his site, but he gave it to me for $60. Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered. This is the Play Asia version. Anyone that buys a PS4 copy is an idiot. I'm going to say that right now.
Well, for
retail
for bloated price, we should disclaimer.
So disclaimer for it. There's not many PS4 copies. But here's my caveat to that. No one pre-orders for PS4. Let's just keep it real. Everyone's no offense, Switch horse. They only pre-order for Switch. So I'm assuming they squared in and was like, well, we don't have enough pre-orders to fill these, so we're not going to do it. Because they have a certain amount they have to get out. So that's why I think why it's like that. But it's not the next little Samson or the next Poop Slinger. Because it has a different ESRB does not mean it's rare. Another one, you'll be proud of me. I probably found the last PS4 PSVR game. This was on Amazon. It's The Legend of Heroes Trails into Reverie. I don't know what this is. I just wanted it for my PSVR collection. I am going to try it out. I love PSVR, so that one was
Yeah,
good.
dude.
This one's for the PS5. You're gonna laugh. A Spidersaurus. This is a running gun made by Way Forward, and it's got dinosaurs and spiders, and also combined spiders in that. I haven't played it yet, but heard it's like super goofy. I want to thank Jenny from Ben's Game Zone for hooking me up with these ones. Final Fantasy 16. Have not got to play it yet because I need more storage room in my thing. But I'm excited to try it out. I heard it's very linear, and it's kind of hit and miss. Some people love it, some people hate it. Octopath Traveler 2, which I didn't even know was on the PS5. I thought it was Switch exclusive,
Yeah,
but
same.
I saw this. I was like, it's crazy, and I like the old the pixel art for it. The game looks beautiful, and I like the first one, so I'm definitely gonna try the second one. The Ibarra game of games, Stray. I had to pick this up. Melissa wanted to play this, and so this is the IM8 bit version of it. So same one
Mhm.
you got from them.
Yeah.
I haven't played it. Have you played this one?
I have. I played about half the game. It's really
So it's
fun.
like a puzzle game.
No, it's a platformer. What would I equate it to? I would say, it's kind of like shit. I want to say Uncharted because there's a lot of like platforming.
Yeah.
Um, you're a cat, you're agile, you jump around like the environments and stuff like that, but there's no real combat. There's just running away from robots and solving puzzles and kind of like fetch quests. Um,
Okay, I
but
understand.
it's really good. It's really, really good.
I've heard nothing but good things about it. I'm excited to try it out too. And the last one I got, and this is just a caveat if you got a PSVR 2, No Man's Sky, and the
Mm.
PS5 version of the game has PSVR 2 on it. So you can actually play PSVR 2 with this. There's not many PSVR 2 games that are physical right now. There's maybe like 5. I'm getting scared that's about to become the next Virtual Boy. But this one I heard was really amazing in VR, so I can't wait to try that either.
Did I see that there's no
And
logo
those,
on that box?
yeah. So this is, so I don't want to go this out there. So this is the first version. They messed up the copy of it, and then they made another one with No Man's Sky on it. So this is the first release.
Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, it's variants." It's not
Yeah.
gonna be worth any money. There's literally 100 No Man's Skies. But that's what I picked
Mhm.
up this week. I do have some cards first coming in. We're gonna do probably an opening of those and probably a little extra bonus exclusive video for this. But
Yeah, that'll be cool.
can't wait to open them. They should be here today, so hopefully they'll be here. They're called Zap cards. I've never heard of them before. They're supposed to be video game related, so
Yeah.
we'll check it out.
Yeah, we'll all learn together.
All right, next one is going to be we're going to go to music, and I think this is a very interesting topic. Bands that were your soundtrack of your youth. And so I'm going to let Ibarra go first. We're going to pick 3, and it could be artists, it can be albums, it can be whatever you want to do. I don't want to
Mhm.
box you in, so go
Yeah,
ahead.
I've got 4 bands. I had 3 and I just thought of one that I have to mention. But I grew up not really the biggest music fan on my own. It's always been music that other people enjoy, and I'm like, oh wow, I really like that. My dad grew up, and whenever I grew up, my dad was playing like freaking 70s rock and stuff like that, like Yes and The Who and America and Billy Joel and freaking Elton John and like all this other stuff. So I've got kind of a wide variety of what I like. So in my early childhood, that would have to be it because like I mean I listened to like MC Hammer and and
Yes, we all did.
freaking Vanilla Ice like everyone else did. You couldn't get away from it, when we were like 8 years old. Too legit to quit. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm kind of embarrassed about like that album in particular because I remember like I would have my headphones on, I'd be in my room and I'd be like singing like I'm sure it was terrible to everybody else, but I was jamming out.
So I'll tell
Yeah,
you a
Too
funny
Legit to
story.
Quit was an awesome album.
So I went to the concert as a kid. So we were in nosebleed seats. My mom paid money and she like bought these tickets for me. She took me and my cousin there. We were blaring that tape the whole way there, like getting amped for the show. And literally there was this gigantic globe, right? Like in the middle of the thing, and it came down and it exploded, and there was no one in there. And then literally like 5 feet away from me, he was dancing and stuff, and I was like, holy crap, like he's like right here. And what I guess what he does is a long time ago, he wanted to make the nosebleed seats feel like they're part of the show. So when he does
Yeah.
the introduction, he actually goes up to the top and starts dancing. I didn't know this. So he was like 20 feet away from me, and I was just like, oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, really funny. I love this cartoon. I'll say it, Hammer Time.
Oh yeah, I used to watch it too. Yeah. This Magic Pants.
I forgot about that.
It's so good. So, along those same lines, like listening to what my dad used to listen to, my brother was huge into grunge. So, Stone Temple Pilots, Metallica, and I wouldn't call like Red Hot Chili Peppers grunge, but he listened to that a lot too. So, I listened to all that normal stuff, freaking Spin Doctors and whatever. But whenever I started like listening to music on my own, I think the first uh like band that I would call my favorite band was Cake. They're out of Sacramento. Yeah, I know, Sacramento,
Awesome.
California.
Awesome.
Yeah, whatever. I'm freaking
Okay.
like this album, Fashion Nugget. I love this album still to this day. I can still listen to it, and I've been to their concert 3 times now. They were awesome. But like Cake, and then I started listening to like Metallica and Korn whenever I started getting all angsty as a teenager and just rebellious, and I had an eyebrow ring. Oh my gosh, I had an eyebrow piercing. So
Jinkos.
edgy. And
We
the
all
bleach blonde
did.
hair that everybody had in the late 90s.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was
I
me.
couldn't
Oh,
do it.
I
I was
see I
jealous.
see a
I had a
pupper
bald head.
behind you.
That's right. Where is he?
Oh, he's gone now.
Yeah, he likes to sneak up on me. Yeah,
Yep.
the funny thing is like me, I'll tell you this funny story about mine. I lived in DC, so there's no such thing as rock there, right? It's like R&B and rap and things like that. So I kind of grew up on like, and I know you're gonna laugh, like Two Live Crew and Wu-Tang Clan and
All right.
Digital Underground and 95 South and all these crazy ones.
Hmm.
But what happened was my cousin Holly was like, you need to expand your music. And so I was like, she's like, I'm gonna take you to a show. And I was like, I was like, I like rap and I'm not into this. But the show, and these are the 3 bands, right? It was Van Halen, or sorry, excuse me, Guns N' Roses were opening, Van Halen, Metallica, and Ozzy,
Dang.
back to back to
Dang.
back. And so, uh, Guns N' Roses was awesome. I was like, cool. Van Halen came on and played Eruption, and I couldn't even believe someone could do that on a guitar, which was insane. But then Metallica came out, and that was it. Metallica like steered me away from everything. I saw them in concert, and it was so crazy. Everyone loved them. They played like all these amazing songs. So I like Harvester of Sorrow is like my favorite song from Metallica. And then
What's your
Ozzy
favorite
came out.
album? Because that was the fourth band that I wrote down that I had to mention. Like I have to mention because I listened to that album so much my senior year of high school.
Well, also Metallica was like the first band I ever seen where the entire album was freaking awesome. I never, there's usually songs like you hate, and
Yeah.
then like you listen to it and like you're like, I was like, man, there's no song that sucks on this thing. But my favorite is Master of Puppets.
Master
I love the
Puppets.
solos. I love the way it sounds, like a dark and kind of gothic kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
And what's crazy was that he was talking about all of his alcoholism and craziness that was going on in his life. So that was like pretty cool that album was. I know everyone likes the Black Album and all that stuff. I know
No,
that's when.
see, it's not the Black Album for me. The one, and it's the same thing as you said. There's no song. I think my least favorite song is the most popular song on that entire album, and it's "Injustice for All." Like
It's great.
it's amazing. That whole
No
album is so
Straw is
good.
great. It's hard for me to pick between those two when I was thinking about this, but I can put Master Puppets on in the background, and it's great just like for background music, and it's also great just to listen to. I like wore it out. Like I had a CD of it, and I literally wore it out in my friend's car. My friend hated it. He was like, I can't listen to this no more.
Yeah.
uh, Another one that was a big influence in me too was Pantera. There's a CD called Far Beyond Driven, and there's a song called Thorns of Rejection. If no one knows who Vinnie Paul is, Vinnie Paul is like the best drummer ever, and his drum solo on that song is like insane. And his brother Dimebag, he's also a guitarist. He's insane. So they're both brothers from Texas. They're just ripping shit. And I've never been to a concert where I've actually been scared. I've been through like pits and all kinds of crazy stuff. Dude, Pantera was like scary. Like I thought I was gonna die scary.
Wait, you've been
And
to
then the last
Ramstein
one,
or Rammstein, right?
yeah, in Germany.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. I got a tattoo of Ramstein after that on my calf because of that.
Yeah.
That show was just insane. The dude was rolling around in a boat. So
Yeah,
the
yeah,
pianist they had him in a boat.
I've seen
Around.
the videos of their like Berlin concert, and yeah, they're oh my gosh, man. I don't think I could see them live. It's crazy.
The best thing ever was some dude had a dolphin, like an inflatable dolphin, and he like threw it at him, and then like he got on the dolphin, and then he rode the dolphin back, and the crowd was like jumping him up, so it looked like the fish was going like this, which was awesome. But my last one, like in that era that I listened to like religiously, is Linkin Park. Linkin Park
Yeah,
like
okay.
blew my mind because I like
Good.
rap and I like metal, so like it kind of like it was like having a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It was really good. All their songs are amazing. Their concerts were awesome. Sucks that that guy died. It's really funny. I went to high school with that guy, which is
Yeah,
wild.
man. I
Chester
was
Bennington.
gonna. So once you're done talking to that, I'd really like to talk to you about like what you, because like yeah, I'm a Linkin Park fan too, and man, whenever Chester Bennington like took his own life, that really hit me hard. Go ahead, but so sorry, man, I didn't
So
mean to interrupt you.
no. So I feel the same way. So there he lived in Tempe where I moved to Arizona at, which is funny. Like my friend's got a picture of me hanging out at a party and he's just in the background, like just having a cocktail. Because we used to a lot of people don't know Arizona. We used to have these things called pager parties, not to age myself. And so they would give you a pager number, you would call it, it would tell you where the party was, and then you would go to that party. So all the high schoolers and everyone from different schools like would run into these places, and there would be adults. It was crazy, like
Wow.
adults and young people that are not supposed to be drinking and all kinds of crazy stuff. And the cops finally like started busting them, so then it just stopped. But he was I just think he I don't know, like the way that they mixed together with the rap and rock, it was like so perfect. Like no
Yeah,
metal, that
man.
was the new metal era, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
there's a lot of great bands in there. So yeah, that's my three that I got.
Yeah, and Chester Bennington, like, it's sad. Like this happens so often, where like just the happiest person outwardly in the world, is dealing with so much like angst on the inside, and like feels like they can't go on or whatever. Like, it's such a sad thing to see. Like, same thing happened with Robin Williams, and just people that you would never expect to take their own life. And Chester Bennington was one of those people because he was so outwardly happy and jovial and just such a good person. So to see someone like that and know that they were going through what they were going through is really tough to see. So I mean, I know we have a small following, but if there's anyone that is going through anything like that, like I go through anxiety issues. I've been taking depression medication for the better part of 2 decades. So no, over 2 decades now. So if you want to reach out to me personally, I will absolutely talk to you. Yeah, sorry. Anyway.
Well, I've been in the same way. So I've been in the same scenario. So like I've been the jokey guy that in the same scenario because you feel, and this is honest truth, like you feel like when you're life of the party, you're like, oh, people like really like, care about you. But like for example, I used to drink and be all that fun guy. And then like when I went sober and stopped drinking, then I realized like, wow, no one's really actually around me. They actually like the persona of me, but not actually the
Hmm.
person of me. And so those things are really tough for people, when they're going through that. And I feel the same way you do, like if you feel like you're doing that way, definitely get some help. I'm doing the same thing right now. Everyone goes to counseling and have things going on in their minds. So you should always try to get help first. Don't do anything crazy that will affect your life. You only got one life, so you need to take care of that and just enjoy it.
Yeah, and whether you feel alone or not, you're not. I mean, there's so many people going through this. It's a chemical imbalance first. And you're dealing with, you might have some like outside things that you're dealing with, obviously, like life is hard for everybody. So there's always someone you can talk to because someone's been through it.
Absolutely. And like I said, don't let stress. Everything can be corrected. I don't want to, I know like people are going through all kinds of stuff and get affected. There is always help out there and support. So definitely, if you feel that way, definitely get help. Let's talk more of a positive. MK1 trailer came out a couple of days ago, and I am super excited about it. There's some controversy with it too. So just so you're aware, if you've seen Max and all them talking about it, there's these issues with dash. So MK9 had this cool thing called block dash. So when you're blocking, you actually get faster speed when you're doing dashes. It makes it more fun because the combo system works a little better when you're doing that type of stuff. It's kind of like a little bit of footsies and things like that.
Mm.
But I guess in MK1, that the dashes are like super slow. And the block dash is really slow. So it's like basically like you're doing combos in slow motion. And everyone's basically saying like they need to fix this, so they went on there, they said they're aware of it. I don't know if they're going to fix it or not, but I think Ed Boon and all of them, I think they kind of understand what the fans want. They always take care of the fans, so I think they're going to be able to correct that and fix it. The new characters were Smoke, Rain, and then 2 cameo fighters, which was Cyrax and Sector. I'm mad that they're not in the game because I like ketchup and mustard, aka ketchup. Dude, are you crazy?
No, I mean,
you give me Smoke.
To me, even in Mortal Kombat 3, whenever they made their debut, like they never really felt like main characters to me. So to be relegated off to the side, I'm okay with it. That's just me.
You didn't like Striker? Come on. Now.
Oh no, not Striker. I'm talking about Cyrax and Oh, am I getting who's the other robot?
Sector. So there's 3, or technically there's 4 now.
Oh, okay.
So there's Cyrax and Sector were the originals, and then they had Smoke in there as well.
Yeah.
And then in 9 they made Cyber Sub-Zero. It was like an alternate universe where they switched. So then they made Triborg, where he is all 3 of those characters.
I didn't know that.
So he's a hidden character. So there's 3 of it. Like you could actually use all 3 powers. Okay. And so that's another one as well.
No, yeah, Striker I wish was his own, because he's a freaking mall cop. I mean, come on.
He's a cameo fighter.
Yeah, I know.
They had him like with a flashlight and a taser, which I think is amazing.
Yeah.
I wish he would get more love. I like Striker.
Yeah, it's funny.
I like with the dash with the nightstick. Like that stuff cracks me up.
He's a meme character for sure.
Bring back Striker. What's cool is they gave a new look to Smoke. He doesn't have like the spear anymore, and he kind of doesn't follow Scorpion. He actually has knives, and that was pretty cool. But they did on the website, they gave him a background. So he's technically like not brothers with any of the 3. He's just kind of like adopted with them. And he doesn't really have smoke powers. He makes like kind of like Spider-Man. He makes stuff like with smoke so he can like use it against people. So that's one for him. And then Rain is considered a villain, and he looks like a wizard now, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I know.
He kind of reminds me of Gandalf.
Super
with
cool.
Little staff. And I like how the water waves. I love the toilet flushing one where they spin around and like fall in the hole and come back out. Really, really cool stuff. What did you think of it?
So being someone who's not as engrossed in Mortal Kombat as you are, I did. So when I compare Mortal Kombat 1, this reboot, to the last couple Mortal Kombats, they look pretty similar to me as far as combat's concerned. So and aesthetically too. And maybe I'm just not looking at the details that closely, and I'm not familiar with them. And you can school me on that all day long, like for sure. Um, but to me, I was hoping with like a series reboot, I was hoping it was going to go completely different, like art style, because Mortal Kombat's always been realistic. I don't know how much more realistic we can get at this point. We can get more gruesome. I mean, it's just up to their imagination. And holy crap, they got
Yeah,
some
the
gruesome
smoke one's
stuff
pretty
going on
crazy.
now.
Yep.
But I'm really excited that my boy Kung Lao is front and center in this one.
You got
Uh,
two Kung Laos.
Wait, what?
So they made a cameo of Mortal Kombat 2 Kung Lao, and then you have the new Kung Lao in the game. So
Okay.
you can use. So what's really cool that you're gonna enjoy is that what people don't know about the cameo fighters, you can do offense and defense. So let's say, for example, someone's comboing the crap out of you. You can call Kung Lao in to teleport, grab you, pull you in the teleport, and then he gets you away from the combos, which is
Oh
freaking
wow.
nuts. I saw him do it on the little MK gameplay type thing they were doing. They
Yeah.
also have like one with Scorpion where he ties the rope around you and pulls you back, which I thought was pretty awesome too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. The freaking the back and forth, the mind games that are gonna take place. I'm really looking forward to how the professionals like Sonic Fox are gonna dominate with these new mechanics. Because I'll be the first to tell you that whenever fighting games started to get like super uber complicated and like overwhelming, I didn't really adapt to that. So it's hard for me to put in the time to be really good at these games. Back in the day, whenever it was like Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3, Killer Instinct, dude, I was playing those like crazy. I got really good at them. But they've become so unwieldy and so crazy and just down to frame data and like down to all this technical stuff that I just can't wrap my brain around at the moment. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm just old.
So the best two people to listen to is Maxim Dude
Yeah,
and
Maximilian for
the other
sure.
guy, that was from Street Fighter Alpha 3, that like the big one that he was doing all the
Justin
combo
Wong
breakers and
or
stuff. Justin Wong, yeah.
yeah.
Justin Wong, like he broke. So I didn't even know, like when I was playing Street Fighter 6, he taught me basically that blocking thing with the projectiles, and I was like, what? And he was teaching people the basics of what you should do in the game.
Mhm.
Right now, Sonic Fox is wrecking everybody with JP, that crazy guy with the pimp cane in Street
Yeah,
Fighter
yeah. Oh,
6.
I need to watch that. That's got to be super interesting.
And it's insane. And Justin Wong and him actually had like a versus with each other. Justin Wong won, but they were like this close neck and neck, which was like crazy. It was pretty cool to watch. But I feel the same way. It's just me. I enjoy it. I enjoy learning. I like to figure out a character that I like. I usually pick like three characters I like, and I kind of stick with them.
Hmm.
I know which characters I like, and I know which characters I don't like, and I will try everyone out. But if I kind of settle on which ones I like, and I just kind of stick with them and just kind of go online and do those things like that. If you stick to one character, I think you'll be all right. You have to find the character that you enjoy playing, and I think you would have a better time with it.
I think you're right. And then there are characters in Street Fighter that even if you become like really good at it, like I'm thinking of people like Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
So Snake Eyes is super super good with Zangief across like all of these generations of games. Um, they took away the green fist and the red fist in Street Fighter Five, and he adapted. But like Zangief is one of those characters that I've always felt is like super one dimensional. Like you do footsies until you can get in close enough to do an SPD, and then
Yep.
spinning pile driver, and then
Yep.
just wreck their shit. I'm sure there's more to it, more technical than just that, but that's the way it feels to me. So I could never play someone like Zangief because I would just be wanting to do spinning pile drivers all day long, which just feels
Yeah.
cheap. Um, but then I've got this friend Dave Pendergrass that is like an expert with Cammy, and he's
Oh my
been
God.
blessed to the fact that like Cammy's been a main character throughout these last few generations of Street Fighters also. But
Yep.
Cammy is super agile, and you have to know exactly when to use what move in what situation, and I'm just not that good at it.
Yeah, and it's tough. Like I kind of got out of it around Street Fighter 4 because I was playing dudes from like Japan that would just wreck me. And
Mm-hmm.
I used to get so frustrated and mad, which is a good topic for our next one, the art of rage quitting. Games
Yeah.
that made you so mad that you want to punch a wall or do something silly. I have a pretty good story. We'll start off with you. What game makes you want to strangle your controller?
Um, I I like you. Didn't grow up rich, so our controllers were prime real estate. Like protected. If we threw our controller and destroyed it, then we didn't have a controller to play with, and our parents weren't
Correct.
going to bail us out and buy us a new one. It's just not how it was. So I had to be like really have some self control as a kid, um, as opposed to
Did you
some other stories I'll tell you in a second after you.
did you ever do the silent yell, like where you remember when your pillow, like you just
No, no,
screamed
no, no.
into it?
I didn't scream into a pillow. I was the kid who punched his leg. I would punch my leg really like
I did that too. I did that too.
But the game that always got me, because I was such a perfectionist whenever this came out, and I wanted to be so good and just wreck everybody. GoldenEye 007 on the N64.
Oh man, so
Um,
much trash talking.
yeah, but I was the dude that like my friends would pay me to take their copy of the game and unlock all of the like secret stuff, because
Yeah,
in order to do that, I mean, before we knew that there was actual cheat codes to do it, we had no idea back in the day that you could just do freaking cheat codes and like unlock all these like modes, this like cheat menu. You had to go through and like beat a certain game or a certain level on a certain difficulty in a certain time, and some of them were just insane.
yeah, those
One in
suck.
particular, it probably, I can't remember the name of the level, but it took me probably like 20 times, and like I don't know, 7, 8, 9 times in a row, I was making a mad dash for the final elevator. And the way the elevators work in that, it's not like the physics in an N64 game. It's either open or closed. It doesn't matter what part of the animation the doors are in. If they aren't all the way open, you can't go in. So
That
you click on it
sucks.
and you're trying to run through, and while I'm like screaming at the elevator to open up so that I can like run in and end the level and win, I'm getting shot at. And
Yep.
and it's so cruel because in GoldenEye, whenever you die, it shows an animation of you dying
Oh,
like
yeah,
over
the
and over
blood.
again. Excuse me.
Yeah, the blood.
So so 7, 8, 9 times in a row, it showed me falling into the elevator dead,
Oh, I
and
hated that.
I got so mad. Yeah, I punched my leg a lot. So go ahead.
Mine is a funny story. I had our OG Xbox, so we were kind of poor in the military, and the story to this was, we actually got kicked out of our dorms. They basically gave us like a notice
Whoa,
on our door and said, "Get out." Like,
whoa.
well, there's a lot of funny stories to that. So we used to be kind of cocktailers, and there was a lot of times where we'll be hanging in the dorms, and like we be playing like Halo, like LAN parties and all that stuff. And it got kind of out of control. So the dorm managers didn't want us in there, so they basically said, "Hey, you got to go." So we all three decided that we were going to be roommates. So I had three roommates. So I had a room and I had two roommates. Well, one of my roommates, he bought this IKEA table because we were kind of like really poor, but he took his credit card out and got an IKEA table, and he was so proud of it. He's like, "Oh, we can, put pizza on it. We can have a drink, play games, blah blah." And I was like, "Man, it's so cool." And I was really excited. So one day I was by myself, and I was playing Ninja Gaiden on Xbox. And if you don't know that game, they literally give you this much of a bar. So when you go to boss fights, they're like this long. And I was like, "You've got to be kidding me." And I kept doing that fight over and over. It's the first level, by the way. Over and over again, it was making me hot. And I took a controller just like this, and I just started spinning it, and I freaking just cracked it down. And I was trying to hit the floor, but I hit the middle of the table, and it like got stuck like this in the table. So I broke this big hole into it, and it was stuck. So I pulled when I went to try to pull it out, I ripped a bigger hole in it, and I'm like, oh my god. So I ran to like Walmart, and I got like this nice little coaster display and bought coasters, and I put a piece of cardboard over the top of it and sat it down and put the coasters around it so he wouldn't see like what was going on. And this was like on there for a month, and like no one noticed it. It was spinning around, and I would just get nervous every time I see it. And then one of the days he was spinning the thing to get a coaster, and the cardboard just slipped, and like the thing just fell into the hole. And then like Tommy Boy, I was like, whoa, what did you do? But then he saw the Xbox, like he saw like where the Xbox, because it's the Duke, that big Duke thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So it
yeah.
had like
Oh,
it
yeah,
had a
we
big
all know
old
the
black
Duke.
mark on it, and then my controller had the same mark on it, and then he put two and two together and figured it out. So I had to buy him like a whole new table because of that stupid game. I get so mad at that game. Even when I walk by and look at it, I just want to punch it because I hate that game so much. I love
What
Ninja
game was it
Gaiden.
again? Sorry.
Ninja Gaiden on the Xbox.
Ninja Gaiden. Yeah. Ninja
Well,
Gaiden
Ninja
Black.
Gaiden's known to be hard. Okay, everyone knows this. But like on the Xbox, it was
Oh,
like
it was
it felt like it was
horrible.
trolling me. It's so bad. The jump sucked. The energy sucked. I know what they're trying to do. I get it. Like they want to make you seem like you're a ninja, but you don't need to like. Come on, man. Give me at least a little energy. Or at least take the damn boss energy down. No cheat codes. No nothing. It sucked.
So just really quick, like just like you, I saw somebody. Well, I mean, it wasn't me, but I saw somebody do the whole spin around and freaking. We were playing Mario Kart and we were doing time trials, and I think we were like trying to one up each other in Rainbow Road on SNES. This was my next door neighbor Wade Klein-Tobe and I. We were playing over in his house, and he had this controller. You guys probably remember, I think it was like Intratec or something like that. I'm probably getting that company wrong, but it was this clear controller. You could see like the circuit board inside, and I think it had like programmable moves or something like that. Whatever. It was made out of this weird plastic, this weird like brittle plastic, and so I think he was like on the last lap, last corner, maybe fell off the edge or something like that. I don't remember all the details, but he ripped the controller cord out of the system, swung it over his head and then threw it against his bedroom wall, and it just shattered like in 100 pieces. Dude, I laughed so hard. So the second story that I've got is about the original Xbox, and I think it was whenever I first got to off it. We were over in base housing, as I remember it, and it was you remember Brian Zemer, yeah?
Oh yeah, I remember Zine.
Oh yeah. So he would always play like NBA 2K, all that series. And he was playing. I'm pretty sure it was one of the 2K games, and like, inevitably he would be playing it, and then like at the buzzer, the computer would put up some like full court shot, and then put it right in, and like piss him off or whatever. Well, he took the claw end of a hammer and put it right through the Duke's jewel.
Oh, I remember that story.
Yeah.
I heard about it. It was the deployed area, wasn't it? I remember someone telling me that story where like there was some guy that was in our squadron. I don't remember who it was. I guess he was deployed, and I guess they were beating him at some game, and he got
that was
so
Huffman.
mad.
Huffman.
Yeah, that's
that was
right.
Huffman.
Yeah, Huffman. Huffman like destroyed it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I heard that story the first day. He's like, dude, don't play games with him, man, because like, dude, he takes it like way too serious. He gets really angry.
He threw the controller at the TV and broke the TV. Like this big, like large screen TV whenever they weren't cheap. So needless to say, he had to replace that. Yeah, idiot.
That sucks.
Anyway, enough about that.
Yeah, I just think it's like funny, like with like rage quitting, because there's also really funny ones like I told you before, like they haven't heard it, but the MK4 story I told you, where I was just doing the same move over and over again, and his brother got mad. My best friend's brother got mad and started crying.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's cheating. I don't want to play anymore. And I was like laughing at him. And I was like, okay, dude, I won't do it no more. I promise. And then I would go back in there and do the same thing. I trolled the crap out of him. Another funny story with him. He had these Star Trek figures, and I know it's inappropriate, but I would 69 them. And they were like those really expensive, like the ones like you paint and stuff, like for
Yeah.
like the I can't think of the name of them, but I would always come in his room and I would 69 them, and he would like lose his mind. He's like, "These are collectibles. Do not 69 my collectibles." And like me, it was the way he said it, like we would just crack up laughing.
Oh,
He's like, "Do not 69 my Star Trek figures." So funny. All right, Ibarra, this is your next week's Ibarra at the movies. We
oh
got
boy. Oh boy.
A, B, and C. I've picked out 3 once again. 2 are absolutely trolls. One of them is actually one that you should be seeing, so just be aware of that. I can't wait for you to choose. He's got a question block from Mario that has A, B, and C in it, and he's going to randomly pick what movie he's going to watch.
Ow. Oh gosh.
Oh,
Hit my mic.
nice.
Ouch. That hurt my ears. I'm sure it hurt
Here we
everybody
go.
else's.
Shake, shake, shake.
Yeah, I've got
I
to
am
slip a
excited.
paper in here for A, B, and C. I'm going to leave it up to fate instead of choosing myself. So I'm going to choose a piece of paper here. Oh, what do we got? It's going to be movie B again. B again.
All right. I hope you're ready. Another fun one that we've been trolling you. I know you've seen a couple of these movies, but it's time to go to Miami, buddy. Police Academy 5.
Oh, no.
Assignment Miami Beach.
Oh gosh.
So he's only seen the first 2. So
That's right.
he has not seen 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
There
But
were
this
7
one I
of
thought
them.
was funny. Yeah, so this is where they jumped the shark. And
Okay.
so this is Police Academy Miami, and you'll really think this is hilarious. There's one scene you're gonna laugh your ass off at. But yes, you're gonna be watching Police Academy 5. By the way, I love Police Academy movies. I showed it to him and trolled him with a laser disc of it, and he actually liked the movie, the first one. So
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear
I
what you gotta
can't
think about
unsee the podium scene where the what Blue Oyster.
quality, yeah. Where he thought it was him doing it.
Yeah.
My favorite one, and I know it's stupid, you haven't seen it. It's part 6, and what they did in it was each of them. You know how like Tackleberry has guns and stuff like that. Well, all the bad guys were just like them. So like Tackleberry had guns, and this guy was like an expert on guns too. So they're like doing silly shit together. And then one dude can like do voices, and another one can do voices. But it's like cheesy
Oh
Looney
my
Tune
gosh.
stuff. Like the bad guy in it, like they hand him like a cigar, and he's like, "Check out this cigar, we'll celebrate." And he threw it in there, and it's one of those exploding cigars. And it's like Looney Tunes. He's in a shadow, and he just blows his face up and stuff. It's so stupid. That's why I love them. They're just like dumb fun. So I was really excited. I was hoping you picked this last week, but this week is even better. So Police Academy
There we
5
go.
next week. I'm at Miami Beach. You're going to Miami, buddy. So
We'll see if I
take a
can
little
get Natalie
vacation.
to sit down and watch that one, because I'm 90% certain that she's never seen a Police Academy either.
Oh, she should see it for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Okay. I'll try and sit her down and watch it.
This might turn into Nat and Ibarra at the movies.
Yeah, I know. And I'll just tell you her reaction. Oh, I didn't tell you her reaction to Hot Tub Time Machine. Real quick, she just had one quote that I thought was funny. She said, "I hate that I like that." I hate that I like that movie.
Movie's great. The
funny.
thing about me is that I like dumb humor like that, like Naked Gun and like dumb comedies like that. I don't like take stuff seriously. I like funny bits. I do like some realistic comedies, but
it's absurdist humor that really gets me, and that's why I love British comedy, because it's witty and just absurd. It's not slapstick. It's actually like, and I wouldn't call like Hot Tub Time Machine intelligent humor, but it's not slapstick.
The thing about those guys in those movies, because they've been doing a lot of those movies, the thing that I love about it the most is that they fucking sell it so goddamn well. They do it. They sell it so well. Like, there's a show called Eastbound and Down with they've been on there too. And I always laugh at this. There's this little guy that hangs out with him that wants to be like the main character, and he's like, "I'm a freaking ox." And he's like, and the dude that's in the movie, he's like, He's in the same movie. He's like, who the F is this guy? And he's like, don't you worry about who the F I am. He's like, I'll knock your teeth in. But they do it like so seriously. It's so funny. Like even Will Ferrell was in it. So I like dumb stuff. Like Dumb and Dumber is like my favorite movie of all time. Like favorite comedy of all time. So we got corrections for our little final topic here. Do you have any corrections from last week?
I do actually have one correction. It was something that I realized like right after we stopped filming last week. We were talking about Sonic. I don't remember in what context it was, but you said that you hated the Labyrinth Zone, and I got it confused. I hate the Labyrinth Zone too, because I was so like incredulous when you said that you hated the Labyrinth Zone. I'm like, are you kidding me? Well, I was thinking of the Marble Zone in Sonic 1, which I really do love and has amazing music. So I thought you were saying that you hated that one, which I would fight you over. But I will totally agree with you that the Labyrinth Zone sucks. Yeah, all the like water and especially when you're drowning and that freaking like intense like music that starts up and oh man, it's just bad. It's kind of a terrible level.
So one thing they do in that game too, which I didn't realize too, is that on the final boss level of Sonic 1, they make you do that crap again to fight him at the end. It turns to like a gray and purple like water, but you have to do it again before you fight him. And I'm like, oh, I hate that. I hate that level. Whoever made that level should be punched in the face. It's like a Mario Maker troll level. I cannot stand it. I love Marble Zone. That's my correction. I love Marble Zone too. The music's great. I like the whole glass and lava theme and the marble type of stuff in there, which I thought was pretty cool. It's kind of like a cool little temple. So I think it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So I got confused last week, and you were right. I was wrong on that one.
Yes. One day my wife will say that to me. Yes.
It's the dream, right?
It is a dream. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We've been building this as well. We will be posting the links as well for this. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow us. We are going to work on getting an Instagram for that as well, throwing clips, things on there as well. You can follow me at GI Gamer 1981 on Facebook, and I throw the links on there as well. Is there anything you want to promote with your items going on?
Yeah, main way to follow me is the Video Game Collectors Field Guide on Facebook. I do plan on making an Instagram, like an up to date individual. The book that I currently have out, the Video Game Console Collectors Field Guide, is available right now. Will ship immediately if you go to premiumeditiongames.com, where you can also purchase some awesome Nintendo Switch games and pre-order some other games that we have coming down the pike. I said last week how I had planned on kickstarting my new series of books, the Video Game Collectors Field Guide, which is 4 books, 2,400 pages. However, because Kickstarter and the people at Kickstarter cannot read, they have not approved my my campaign to launch. So it may be next week that it launches. Long story.
I have an idea for you. So you should get them on camera, and then you just take a fidget spinner. And they're like, you will approve my book. You will approve my book.
That's what it's going to take at this point. Yeah, because they said they told me that like I'm just iterating on my old idea. I'm like, no, it's a completely different book. Like you guys didn't read anything that I said. So whatever.
I think it's their AI. I think it's their AI stuff. I think they just like look for keywords. You should imagine there's like a million Kickstarters going on. You know what I mean? At one time. There's a lot of stuff. So I hope they get that fixed, because these books are amazing. All the stuff you showed me, it's going to be amazing. But also, same thing too. Please support Premium Edition Games. They make amazing games. I want to get Wife Quest. That one is going to be definitely another one I'm going to grab. Another one that's really good, Cathedral, Robot 90 Fight. The thing you guys don't understand is that it gives them the opportunity to get their game out there on a physical level, because you know what physical is a big thing, especially with DLC now and things like that and digital only. We're from our era of physical. We like you guys to enjoy physical and make sure that you are supporting them. So premiumeditiongames.com is definitely the place you need to go, especially for the great games. My friend Ibarra, Jeff, they got a good crew of guys there that kill it all the time. So please support them.
There are other companies that do the same thing, basically the same thing that we do, but we're such a small team that we curate what we work on. We don't put out 28.5 games per day, like some other companies. You know, and you know, it's up for debate how much attention and care that they can give to those developers. But you know, we only work on a few at a time, so we absolutely give those developers and the games the attention that they deserve, down to the manuals that I write personally. So,
yeah, they're outstanding.
Yep.
They're probably the best manuals I've seen in a very, very long time. I especially fit Cathedral and you know, even with the ones that you worked on, you know, Rack and Ruin and things like that. You guys are doing amazing things, and I think it's awesome. Please pre-order everything from them. They are amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed MAGDX. We enjoyed hanging out with you guys today. If you got any questions or anything like that, please feel to contact us on GI Gamer, as well as Ibarra's collection feels guide. And I hope you guys have a great evening. And remember to collect and open, play your games. They are not stocks. If you want to play stocks, go to Wall Street. This is not Monopoly. This is enjoying your games. Don't not enjoy them. Have a good night.
Later.